Hi there everybody, and welcome to another video. On today's video I have the Mini there, the R50, that's a 2001, and basically a while ago the fuel pump wasn't working, so I removed it and sort of tapped the motor a little bit and it started working again. However, left the car parked for another 2 years and fuel pump stopped working again. So in order to move the car, I already changed the fuel pump, but I need to remove it again because I need to actually change the other side of the pump as well. So on the other side there is a fuel gauge that connects to this side of the pump. And the reason I'm changing the pump this time around and not tapping it is because when I removed it, this just crumbled and braked, so it's no longer flexible as it used to be. It's very brittle. It's gone completely brittle and it just snapped like that. Also, you may notice all the wiring is falling apart. So there's bare wire there and it just falls apart. And not only that, but this bit connects to the gauge, and you can see the other wires are also falling apart. So I don't really want to use this pump anymore. I already purchased one and fitted it, but I need, like I said, I need to remove it again because this is the other side of the pump. Now this I bought this together with the pump I fitted already, so that came together in a box, and this is pretty much the other side. This is what it looks like. These are the hoses that run along that connect onto here, and you also have a fuel gauge there. Now what I've noticed with mine is that this cable is also crumbling and falling apart, and that cable connects to this gauge. So it might be why at the moment my fuel gauge is not working either, so even though I have fuel. So this is the reason I'm changing it. 2 years ago the cabling on this was perfectly fine, so maybe the lack of use and just leaving the car there sitting hasn't helped. But also, I mean, I suppose all these cables can be renewed and replaced, but I'm not really sure. Nevertheless, I bought this new pump, which is in good condition. It's not new, secondhand. I bought it off of eBay for, I think it was about £40. So came with this part and this part. And also I'm just checking at the moment. I'm just checking for any fault codes that may have been stored regarding the engine, because the car wouldn't start. I will have probably other fault codes on here because I was also replacing the body control module in this car, so I may have other fault codes in there. Right, just want to get this. So I can see I have a number of things that are showing here fault codes, but funny enough the engine isn't really showing any, even it wasn't starting. So let's see if there's anything there. No fault codes there. It's funny. So even the fuel pump wasn't working. No issues were stored under the engine. Power set, toleration of charging, code increase with key number 3. that's not really related either, but I think I will clear some of these actually. Just okay, and not sure why I have something there. Oh yeah, because this box, the body control module here, it's connected to the, so it says there's a lamp as in a light, so it's connected to the run flat indicator, so that would cause it to go on if it's disconnected. Electrically assisted DDS, let's see what that is. What we have in there, no fault codes. It's showing us there being a fault, but there was no fault codes there. Fair enough. And then instrument cluster. Actually, my instrument cluster is something, the digits have gone a little bit dodgy, but this might be something to do with something else. Identification number of ZK instrument is different. I had that before, so again, that's not related to a non-starting car. And central body electronics, no fault codes. Okay, so I can certainly say that the non-starting situation regarding the car had nothing to do with the had no fault codes showing at all. So the car wouldn't start, but there was no fault codes stored, as in saying the fuel pump is dodgy or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that. Well, I already replaced the pump. I need to remove it, but I want to replace the other side, and I'm just going to show you how I removed it, how to remove it. Okay, so this part here with the pipes here, you definitely don't want to bend them, because I bent this one here and it's kinked in such a way that it looks damaged. It's like the plastic stretched. So anyway, like I said, like I'm gonna just show you is if you disconnect the pipe from here, you can fit it. But I just wanted to talk about this part a little bit. Although it has a gauge here for the fuel and some wiring going there, and I replaced it because the wiring is going brittle, there's also a fuel filter here. I didn't really know, to be honest, that there was a fuel filter. So I just tried to explore this a little bit, and since I already fitted a new part on this, you can actually take this apart, but if I'm not sure this is a metal filter. So I don't know if you can actually buy just the metal filter and replace it, or this whole unit comes as a one piece. Because I have seen other models that have a filter, an actual paper filter on top of this. So that might be the new model of the R50, because this one definitely didn't have any of that. So I already pull all this apart, so it might be a little bit easier for me to pull it apart a second time. But basically these clips you press them in and lift that bit there, so the clips go underneath, and I'm trying to pull this cover out. It was hard to pull this cover out, and well, like I said, since I already done it once, it might be easier this time around. But you need to keep one side a bit open to be able to open the three parts that are holding it. And then I put my screwdrivers there and pop the cover, so it's coming out a lot easier, I said, because I already removed it once. Now there's supposed to be an O-ring there, and then that's the filter there, and the O-ring seems to remain in there. So I suppose if you were to get a new one, you would get it with an O-ring, a new O-ring that you fit around here, and then you push this in there, and then this part comes out as well by means of this. If you push these clips a little bit like that, and here there's like 3 of them, you can actually push this filter out as well. But again, you have to sort of hold one side while kind of pushing the other side. Something like that. And that comes out. Again, there is an O-ring here, down here, which is not there, but it's probably on the side of the filter itself. Or it's probably gone in there since I removed this already. But technically, I think if you were to buy one of these filters, it'll probably come with a new rings that you can fit in there. And also there is a little hole there which also has an O-ring just there, that probably you would get a new one as well. But anyway, this is definitely your fuel filter. It does seem to have a part number there. I'm gonna look it up. It says 1007007-005. Could that be a part number? Made in the UK. VDO. So I never actually changed one of these, so I don't really know if you actually just buy that and fit it in here, or you buy the whole unit together and then just fit the whole thing in the car. I am not sure because I never changed one. However, this has been in that car since 2001, so that is a lot of years. Well, 2011, 2021, that's 20 years, and we're in 2023, so so 22 years. So if you bought the whole unit for whatever it is, 150, 200 pounds, I'm not sure, then it's not that bad for the period of time that's been there. However, if you can just buy the fuel filter, it might be cheaper. But then again, look how the wire deteriorates, and you can already see how it's crumbling. I already showed you on the side of the pump, but on this side also you can see the bare wire in there. And it's all breaking up. More bare wire there, and look how is that? That is just breaking like a crumbling cookie. So perhaps changing the whole thing is better than just changing the fuel filter, because next you may actually need to change this. So anyway, that's just one little thing I wanted to mention, because my original task was to replace the fuel pump, but since it came together with this part, my eBay purchase, then that's why I decided to change both. Now obviously, come to think of it, the part that I'm fitting from eBay, it must be also around the same age as this, quite old. So eventually I really need to think to change this part as well. Right, so let's carry on. Also, before I start, I will disconnect the battery here, because I don't want, if we're gonna be messing around with fuel, don't really want any sparks at the back happening by any means of imagination. So if we disconnect the negative side, then at least we have no power to the car, and then we can work on those fuel tanks and the fuel tank a little bit more reassuring. However, still be careful, because fuel is extremely flammable, so have to be careful if you're gonna work with fuel. Okay, so the back seat of the Mini is fairly easy to remove. It's literally plugged in onto these things here, and you just need to literally pull it up on both sides and it will pretty much come out. It's not a difficult one to remove, and because I already had it removed 4 years ago, I never really put it back. Since the last time I fixed this pump, I never put the seat back, and then the car was left, like I said, and that happened to the pump. All the wires went potty. So the next thing we need to do is remove all these 10mm nuts here. Now, if you only have issues with your fuel pump, then you only need to remove this side. And in my case, since I'm having issues with the these are not going to be hand tight. Mine are hand tight because obviously I had this out, so you need a 10mm socket for that. But yeah, as I was saying, since my wiring is crumbling, I need to replace that side as well, that other side. So remove that plate, and the same will apply to this side. If you were gonna do this, remove all the 10mm and then take out that cover there. So you can see this side is very dirty because I never actually took it out, but that side has the new pump that I fitted, which is not new but it's second hand. So remove the connection here. As you pull this out, this connection comes up. That's how it kind of works, and sometimes it can be a little bit tight. If you use a screwdriver like me, just be careful, be gentle, so you don't break things. Now I think there is a mouse living in the car somewhere, because I've seen mouse droppings. I have hoovered this area out because the mouse must be moving around. I don't know how it's coming in. Nevertheless, you can see some bits and even mouse droppings around there. But anyway, now in order to remove this is usually tightened. We normally use, I'm just gonna use, because I removed this one before, it's probably gonna be fairly easy to just take it out, but I use this plastic hammer for tapping on my screwdriver, so that little cover there will start opening. And again, just trying to avoid any sparks or anything like that, because so we don't need to go mad on it. Like I said, we're working with fuel. Okay, so hopefully I can handle this. Right. So the fuel pump will spring up. Take that out. And there's our fuel pump and one of the gauges. So now I need to go ahead and do the same on the other side. Same approach. And like I said, I haven't done this side in a long, well, I never actually opened this side. I don't think anyone did. So hopefully it's not going to be tragically hard. So that was a bit hard, I must admit. This still has its seal there. I think I might be blocking the whole view there, but that's already loosened. And also need to disconnect this hose here. So press on the clips. And take this out. And there's a little bit of fuel coming out of there. So now we should be able to take this out. And this might be a little bit stuck. I don't think it will be too stuck. So like I said, my fuel gauge is stopped working. That might just be because the wiring is gone all brittle and is falling apart. Okay, so before I can actually remove that, side, I need to take this side out. And you do need to get your hand in there to be able to disconnect. So you might be able to see that gray hose in there. That needs to be unplugged. It just unplugs like that. And then we have this one as well. And this one you press on the sides and pull the hose out. So that might be a bit difficult to show. Let's try to get this out a little bit. Right, hang on. I got the wiring here as well. So press on the sides and disconnect that wire like so. And then we have this one. So just have to press on this black clip there, and you should be able to pull this out like so. So again, this one's probably a little bit easier because it hasn't been, I mean, it's been disconnected already a few times, so it's not giving me too much of a headache. Right, now push everything to one side, and we can get this pump out. Just the cable. Right. So I have fuel in my tank. The only thing is my gauge is not reading anything. So there's two gauges in the car, like I said, and I have a feeling one reads half and then the other one reads the other half, something like that. And if that isn't the problem, then there could be a different problem, which I hope there isn't. Okay, let's just absorb some of that petrol. Don't really want to have any petrol around. I'm just going to put this cover here temporarily so nothing goes in there, and then we can take this other side out. Hopefully it just comes out. Okay, so we have all these hoses here blocking the pump from coming out. Right. Here we are. It's kind of coming out. But one of the main reasons I want to change this is it's because I will show you in a minute. If I can get this whole thing out somewhat. This has been a bit of a pain. So as it would be. Just want to get this out. Okay. Okay, it's out. I have to clean that up in a minute. Let's just get this out. And that's what we have. So this one here, first of all, you may notice all the corrosion that's been forming on the side there of this, and also the wires here. This is the new one. So this is the old one here, and you may notice that the wire here is also gone bare, so it's crumbling as well, it's falling apart as I touch it. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to change this as well. So what I've noticed is that there's no fuel on that side of the tank, so so maybe that's why my fuel gauge was not working. Once I fit this one, we'll have to see. However, there is some fuel as well, so a bit confusing because there's some fuel on the other side, so I don't know which side reads what. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead now and feed this back into the pump. But you saw how it comes out, but I want to fit this one in without bending it or damaging it, because I bent this one a bit and I don't really want to do the same for this. This is the new sort of part, so basically refitting is the reversal of removal. So I'm gonna fit that back in and then see how we get on. So just something I discovered before fitting this part, you can actually sort of disconnect this part from here and push it down. If you just do that, then you can sort of take this bit out, and then that separates this part from this part, so then you can fiddle this in. But halfway through fiddling, so once you get this bit inside of the tank, you need to reconnect this bit before putting this in, because otherwise you won't be able to get your hand in there. So that's how I managed to fit mine. So like I said, so then you can just slide this back in there once all of this is in the tank and clip it back on. Otherwise you will struggle to fit this unless you bend this pipe. So having said that, I've already fitted mine, and since I've already done it, now I need to fit the pump itself. So the pump is here, we can fit that in as well. So like I said, that bit is in. I also have a little bit of grease here, and the reason I have the grease is because this rubber here when you fit this back in there, you want to fit the rubber first around the circle, and then you want to push this down onto the rubber. So I just put a little bit of grease around my rubber here or around here, so I can push it easier. So that's what I've done here, and I'm able to push this down a little bit easier than it would normally be. There's still some fuel here. Let's get that dried out. And that's what I'm trying to do at the moment, actually. Just trying to get this in. Okay, that is in. We can go ahead and fit this cover back on. Now, what I've noticed is that this side of my tank is empty. So, I don't know if that's the reason why my fuel gauge is reading empty, but it shouldn't really, because I do have some fuel. Right, so a little bit of grease on that as well. And then we can push this hose in there. There is a little O-ring in there, so that's why I put a little bit of grease, just so it slides a little bit easier. Okay, that's on and it's clipped on. Put that back in there. Let's put some of this back on as well. Just temporarily, because I need to close that bit. I just need to tighten it a little bit with the hammer and the screwdriver. And now we can fit this back in as well. So all the hoses, all the stuff is on this end, and we can feed this in there. And try to get the hose and the wiring, everything up here, so we can connect it. It's all a bit of a fiddle, but it's all doable. Right, where is my connection here? So I have my electrical connection. That goes there. Then get that out of the way. I want to find the other hose. Okay, that's the one here. This one there. And in this case, this just, where is it? This just plugs in until it clicks. All right, got that in there. there was I noticed there was a little sort of clip that holds these two pipes together here, which my other one didn't have. This thing here, that just literally plugs in there. And then we have that grey hose, and that grey hose just pushes on there as well. So I have to try and get the grey hose in here. Okay, that is in. And now we can so as I was saying about this rubber here, this sort of O-ring, if you fit it around here first, like so, then you can push this down. I can feel a little bit of resistance on my hose here, not sure why. Because basically your pump will line up, this part here will line up with this part here. You can't really fit it in any other way, so it's gotta fit in that way. And that's how it's going to fit in. Now this one you normally have to keep it down, fit this on there. Right. Now we can connect the wiring. Okay. Now we can go and see what may or may not happen. Then I can tighten those things. Right, just gonna connect my batteries. A little bit loose. Okay, so I can hear the pump. Right. Probably needs to suck a little bit of fuel. Okay, car starts. Fuel gauge still on the low, so what I really need to do is maybe put some fuel and see what happens there. But car's running well, no issues there. So I'm gonna put some fuel and see if that changes anything. Okay, so I've added some fuel and the gauge is actually gone up. So yes, it's clearly that the problem I had was that I had not enough fuel in there, but you can see the little gauge is going up now. So gauge is fine, fuel pump's working, and if the video helps somehow, if it helps you, if you're looking into changing those things like me, you can change them like that. So well, I mean, I hope the video helps really somewhat. So don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching, and always be really careful with fuel, as fuel is really flammable, so don't have anything that can cause a spark anywhere near your fuel tanks or anything like that. It wouldn't be a very good idea. So hope the video helps. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.